We spent an enormous amount of time looking at Mastercard before it went public, and I've always believed that. I'd said previously, I was asked by, at a business school by a student, what's the single best business in the world? And I said, if you could own a royalty on people spending money, like Visa or Mastercard, it's the greatest business in the world. And if that ever became a public company, you want to buy that company, or if you ever could buy that company. Well, it became a public company, and we did an enormous amount of work in the company. We couldn't get comfortable with the regulatory risk.
Consumer Protection Agency, things
no, there
like that.
There was outstanding kind of antitrust litigation relating to kind of monopolistic practices of the Visa, Mastercard. And when you have a strategy where you put 10, 15+% of your assets in any one investment, you can't take even a very small risk of a catastrophic outcome.
Wow, interesting.
And so we passed on Mastercard, and it's been an incredible investment. Management's done an amazing job. That's a big miss.
Yeah.
On the long, well,
but it's very interesting.
It's either
that one.
The question is whether it's a miss.
Right.
Did we overestimate the regulatory risk, or did it just work out in a reasonable way? So I think, as part of a 50 stock portfolio, we would have bought it. As part of a 10 stock portfolio, we couldn't do it. So unclear to me, but I still look at that one and say, do we really have a miss there?
So I'm sure you have some fans, some critics, and you've been described as pompous and needlessly competitive, although I have to admit I've been called worse in my own industry as well. So tell me, how do you think your peers describe you, and how do you think those that you invest in describe you?
So in the last 90 days, I've had one very vocal critic.
No.
Actually, two.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think any of us have seen it.
Well, two. There's Carl, and then there's this guy that I met, money manager named Bob Chapman, who I met on a panel 7 years ago. We were on a panel together, shook hands. I've never spoken to him since. I've never had an email correspondence. I've never seen him since. But in the last 90 days, he's been running the talk show circuit on how I'm, either wrong or stupid or arrogant, giving quotes to Vanity Fair. It's unfortunate. I don't mind criticism, but I don't like reading things that are it's hard to read. For someone who doesn't know me well, to be commenting on what I'm like as a person, I find that difficult. But whatever. You have to have a thick skin to be in this business, and if you end up in a very public situation, you should expect to have fans and critics, and I just try to focus on what my job is, and we focus on making money for our investors, and I live my life, and